Right, so look, this there was a pound in there, so we just took that. Right, that is a Manitou. It's a rough terrain forklift, and it is actually, I think, a little international. And then they put this big mast on it. So that, I've got to know if that thing will run. So we're going to have to do a will it start on this. It's a pity that weren't full. Look, that's full of bloody water. That's full of water. Water ballasted Land Rover wheels. Look at that. Obviously popped a bead. It's just sat there and filled up. The 4 carriages at the front there. Down here. Well, that's good. There's the first problem. The welder's just broke on the door.
What's wrong with this one? Oh, nothing, Tommy. It's tip-top.
Right, muckers, so we're back with the Manitou. And as you can see, I've now got easier access since the door decided to fall off. Basically, as you can see here, the hinge has given way. Well, the pigeon shit type welding has given way. So that's just what's happened. One of those things. We're gonna have to weld that back on. Anyway, the Manitou. It is a MB26 NF, I think it is, according to what's on that plate here. Now, from what I can find out, because I don't know a lot about these, I think basically what they were originally was, if you look at this, forget the steering wheel being there, think of this as a tractor with the bonnet here, front axle, and that's the back axle. So as a tractor turned backwards, and I think originally they were an international harvester, and I think they were built, I think a lot of them were built in the Doncaster plant, the International Doncaster plant. Then I think later ones were built in International Harvester's German plant, over in Germany. And then what they started to do was, rather than it being an international gearbox and an international engine, I think they put Ford engines in. I think this has got a Ford engine, and then they put Perkins engines in, and then they used, I think, almost like a shuttle type, not power shift, but a shuttle type transmission, as opposed to just the standard straight, gearbox that they had in the tractors. So there were several variations. I don't actually know, without looking at this one, which one this is. I think that's just a standard gearbox in this, actually. And basically they have put like remote linkages as such, so you can reach it, because obviously everything's turned around. You'd normally sit with your legs either side of the gearbox tunnel. You've got your high and your low, and then you got your gear lever. Obviously, because you're sat that way round, that's then coming from there, and they've had to put remote linkages on. I think it's just a straight gearbox. It's not a power, shuttle, or forward and reverse or anything like that. I think there is a forward, and that's the hand throttle. I think the forward and reverse is literally on here. I don't know, because I ain't running it yet. I haven't ran it. So how does it even work?
How exactly does a positive track rear end on a Plymouth work?
It just does.
Now down here you'll see that, looking at this looks like a Ford cross rib block engine, 3-cylinder. So like they would have in, I suppose, I don't know, what, 4.6, something like that, Ford 4.6, 3600, something like that. Then that's mounted to that gearbox, as I said, and then everything's sort of back to front on it. But anyway, there we are. That's what we got. And well, you know what the thing we've got to do is, we've got to see if it starts and fires up. So first thing we'll do, let's check all the levels, coolant levels, and that's, we know we've got coolant, oil and fuel. We'll do that first, shall we? Right, so what are they now? This is I think this is A reg from 1984. There you go. It's 40 odd year old. It's 40 year old, isn't it? 1984, 2024. Yeah, 40 year old. So the 40 year old gas struts have given up the ghost. So I'll use a bit of stick there. Start off with coolant. And remarkably, there is coolant and antifreeze in there.
We want the finest wines available to humanity. We want them here, and we want them now.
Now the drive, as you can see, that down there coming off the front of the crank, that is the pump. That's the main hydraulic pump. So that's good. We know where that is, and it's quite accessible. It'd be quite a decent machine to work on, I dare say, if you were like in the day, if you were a mechanic on the farm, or even a Manitou fitter. Now, the next thing is down here, we've got, do we have any oil? Oh, we do. Yeah, it smells a bit gamey, but it'll do, as I said, to fire this up. Again, you will get those that say, oh, I'd change all the oils now. Good, so you change all the oils, spend probably 300-400 quid on this, spend, you know, changing the oils, do only find that it won't start. So you just wasted a load of oil. There is oil in there. There's no big lumps of grit in there. There's enough oil in there. It'll do just to run it for 10 minutes. All right. It's got this far on that oil. It'll go a bit further. So there's no point throwing money into something when you don't know if it is actually a viable proposition yet. Oh, there's fuel in there. There's some in there. I think we've got enough to get it going. We've got some fuel on the stick, which is good. All right, that's a bit more positive. Right, if I can now get this battery off and swapped over. We might be able to do something with it. Oh. Right. Down there again. Oh, that's not a bloody guillotine, but we'll see. Right, let's have a little look. Okay, there's a that one off. Right. That's good. Can I see? Well, I could get to the filter if I had to bleed this. But as I said, there is no lift pump, which is a bit of a pain. Never mind. Okay. Yeah, I don't know. It might be all right, actually. It might just have enough clearance. There's a slightly different layout. Obviously, these are at the ends. The other battery had two terminals at the end, like a Ford does. I don't know whether to, well, I'll refer to it as a Manitou, but I wouldn't know whether to refer to this as a Ford or an International, because I think it's got an International transmission and a Ford engine, which is... Why they did that, I don't know. Maybe it's a supply issue thing. Because I said they also went on to Perkins engines. Yeah, but I don't know. Somebody out there will know. I know a lot of you have ran these before, these and you really rate them. Since I did the little bit of a short video about what we were going to do. Oh, got a light on in there. Yeah, since I did the video about the going to do the will at start, a lot of you reached out and said that you'd ran these and you really liked them and whatever. So yeah, quite positive. Right, so we have got coolant, we have got some fuel in the tank. Whether it's up to there yet, we don't know. I'm actually willing to just give this a go, wind it over and see if we can get some fuel up that way. Might need a little bit of help, you don't know, you know, a bit Cosby in a can, but we'll give it a go. I think we'll see what happens. We tried last time, if you remember, just to see if this was free, and it is actually free. We can turn it, believe it or not, on the here she goes, look, on the fan blades, which that was a very positive thing last time. Right, well, you know the next question, will it start? Right, so I don't know what on earth we have here. I don't know what's what. I assume if we get this into neutral, is there a neutral? It all feels like one.
Come on then, Plato, enlighten me.
I think our gear lever's a bit stiff. Right, well, let's assume we've got that into neutral. We know we've got power, because that ignition was on. Okay, right. I'm going to push the clutch down, because that's an international thing. I want to go with that being part of the spec. Right, that's a hand throttle, that's a foot throttle. So if we, I don't know, this is high and low, I think. Don't know where that should be. We'll give it a go. Right, fingers crossed. Right, so we've got power. Now, I know this isn't on a key stop, so somewhere there will be a bloody stop cable or lever. Where is that? Where? Oh, it's down here. Right, so down here is a stop. Now we'll just see if that actually works on the pump. Right, we've got the stop in. Might as well give it a go, mightn't we? How easy was that? Born to run this. They are such a good engine, them little Fords. Anyway, so we know we can get it to start, so that's good. I like them when they're straightforward like that. Anyway, what we're going to do now is, as you can see down here on the floor, that is the carriage to the mast. Now, that carriage is set on 4 rollers and shafts, which go up and down on there, and they're worn up. Now, 2 things. First of all, can we see if the hydraulics have got enough oil in? But see if they've got enough oil just to lift the mast up and down. If that doesn't work, then that carriage is pointless. If that lifts up and down, the next thing I want to see is if this will move backwards and forwards. And if they do all those functions, up and down, backwards and forwards, I'm going to see if Manitou still stock parts for these, considering this is 40 years old. Otherwise, I'm going to have to just search for those parts or have them made or whatever. But yeah, I mean, I know the tyres are down, but we can just see if it moves gently enough, like I said, just to backwards and forwards. If it's got play in the, that it'll move, that's good enough for me. But let's just see if we've got enough oil in the hydraulic system. Let's just see if it'll lift up and down first, because that looks a bit bent out of shape, that reel on there. The stop is in. There's an over-center handbrake, but that doesn't work. Ignition is on. get a pallet in a low building off the ground, because that lifts first. Look at that, look. So you've got, rather than just a ram going up, you've got the sock going up first to give you your free lift, and then after that's extended up, then the mast would go up. But that means you can get out of a low building before having to go right up to load a lorry. That's when the mast would go up. If you were in a building and that started to go up, you couldn't get out. So that's the free lift part of it. So that makes sense. If the carriage is on here now, bolted to there, that would lift that carriage off the ground so you could lift your load up. So that makes sense. That works then.
I can't see fucking shit out of this thing.
Alright, they're going to try now. I don't know. I just don't know what gears we've got. So, the hydraulics work. Obviously that chain will be attached to that carriage. Those ends go through the bottom there. You can see where the ram fits in, and those two chains go through there, and that's obviously what lifts that first. Now is the time that you'll clean up. Because a lot of people would say, oh, I'd have pressure washed this all before I'd even started, you know, working on a dirty machine like this. I'd have cleaned up. As I've said before, if you start cleaning around here and around the engine bay and whatever, and you get something wet, and then you get a short, and then it doesn't start, oh, why isn't it starting? Is it something that something's burnt out or corroded?
However, the radio still works. Funny as that may seem, with all this mess, that the radio is the only thing that's really working good, and it's clear as a bell. Don't ask me how.
You're introducing issues before you even start. Just leave it be. It's all right. Now we know it goes. If I now clean this down, pressure wash it down, and it doesn't start, it's something I've done, isn't it? I know that because it started before. So there's obviously something that's got wet. So do you know what I mean? We're not introducing issues and problems before we even get it fired up. So now we know that it fires up and runs well, the sounds of it. Now we know that it drives. Now we know that the hydraulics work. I think we can go to the next stage. Let's put a bit of time, effort and money into it. Let's get the tyres all blown up. Let's see about, because that's where those, you can see where the ram goes, and that's where those chain ends go, and you put a nut on the end there. Gives you that free lift. But let's have a look, because I want to see if Manitou still stock parts for a 40-year-old forklift. I know we can get the 4 engine parts. I know we can do that. We get that through AgriLine. And the transmission parts, the international parts. But the actual forklift, the mast and that, do Manitou still stock and give the backup for something like this? I wouldn't be surprised if they didn't after 40 years, but they might do. You don't know. But there we are. So let's get some wind in the tyres. Let's get a battery for it. Let's get it moving. Let's get it out of here. Let's get it cleaned down, and then we can start having a look at maybe, say, changing the oil and filters, fuel filters, air filter, flushing the cooling system through, topping up the oil tank, stuff like that. That would be the next thing to do, I think. Like I said, I can just crack on with this, and I'm going to do this anyway. As I said, I'm going to make sure I can try to get this carriage all working again on the front with the forks and everything, and that it moves and whatever. Do you want to see me do that? Do you want to see a video of me going through this now and actually doing the, like, basically the will it move? we know it moves, but you know what I mean, actually drives properly. I mean, we still might find an issue. We might find that, I don't know, bloody something doesn't work. The steering, we didn't try the steering, did we? But anyway, things like that. Or do you want to see the next sort of video, the next project or whatever? But I'm going to do this regardless. So if you want to see basically the will it move, put it in the old squid pit, the comment section below this video. Just put will it move. If we get enough interest, people, you know, wanting to see it move, then I'll film that, because that's going to be a bit more in depth, that one. We'll do a service on it and whatever. We'll clean her all down, we'll get it all washed down. We'll repair this door. I might actually take this trim off so we can get the glass out, and then cut that all out and weld it on properly then. As I said, it's got to be done to it, just break again. But if you want to see the Project Manitou, the next part, say the cleaning it down and then going through and putting everything back on it and see if it'll actually lift something, put it in the old comment section, the old squid pit. Just put will it move. Here we are. That was a relatively easy one, but I like that. I like that. It's sometimes nice when you get one that just works with you rather than one that kicks back and struggles all the while. So there we go. I hope you enjoyed the video, and you know, like I said, it means a massive amount to us if you can just give the video the old thumbs up, the old like, because it doesn't cost you a penny, but it does make a massive difference to the channel, and it makes a big difference to the content that we can bring you. So just, if you could do that, really do appreciate it, don't we, dog, eh? But there we are. So I think we're going to get kicking on with this, aren't we? Because I'm looking forward to getting this thing now moving. So I hope you are too, as I said. And don't forget, if you want to see it moving, or will it move, in the comment section. Anyway, until the next one, do well.